Okay, so
Listen,
implications of all
we
this.
can't lose this fight. We have to win for the people who are gone,
Dire?
for our family.
Existential?
But we won't win
Cosmic?
unless we put our strength together.
I mean, Soggy
have
is
to be
now
of one
maybe
mind.
wandering
The five of
around
us
with like
as
the
one.
powers of a dark god or something. I'm
other
sure
words,
that's got
we have to be a
nothing
team.
to do with the plot at hand.
That's right.
Then let's pick a name. Something we can call the five of us.
Oh, I've
How about the loyal brother?
got a real bad feeling about
Short and
this.
To the point.
That's a terrible name.
Huh? It is?
Well, how about Malpercio then?
Yeah,
But that's the name of the hill out back.
that sounds about
I
right.
know. It's the hill we grew up on. Malpercio.
I like it. That's pretty good coming from Pieta. Huh, Seth?
Definitely began the real bad feelings right about the time of them
bad.
saying the five of them.
Then
Just like,
Malpercio it is.
I can feel the writer's room at work.
We have a pact with the Dark Brethren. Once this fight's
Also,
over, it won't matter anyway.
it's a hill.
But if we fight hard and manage to stop Wiseman from realizing his
The
ambitions,
name of a fucking
the
hill.
name Malpercio will live on in the memories of those who remain.
I mean, is that not what you named your dark
Yeah.
gods after?
But really, who cares if anyone remembers a name or not?
True enough.
All right, I'm hitting the sack.
I mean, it's less that they're naming the dark god after a
We
hill,
should all get some rest.
and more like
Good night.
somebody named a hill that.
Me too. Good night.
I guess I'll join them. Good night, Seth, Marno.
I'm sorry, I'm entranced at the game, just making every single person in our secondary
I should
party
do the
just
same.
Yeah. File out one at a time.
very important that each and every one of them individually tells you to have a good night and then walks out of the room.
Sleep well, Marno.
This was absolutely crucial in the script.
They said Malpercio. Did you hear that?
Don't you see? This world is from long before ours. 1,000 years ago in the Age of the Gods. I don't know why we've been sent here, but there's no question, no other explanation. Except, if they're Malpercio, it's nothing like the legend. They're just the same as us. How can they be gods?
They may look the same, but their hearts and magic are 100 times stronger.
Are
Oh no.
they?
If this is 1,000 years ago, then the battle they're about to fight, it's the War of the Gods.
I mean,
Soggy,
for
what do we do?
all their fancy magic, it sure seems like
Well,
we've been
assuming
solving
you're right,
most of their problems by
I
casting
don't know
liberal
why
use
we were
of
sent back
sword.
to the War of the Gods, but we can't just leave Seth and Thorn and the others to die.
You're right. We have to help.
If we can stop them, we will. Are you all with
I
me?
feel like they should be far more interested in,
Of
like,
course.
the metaphysics of what the fuck's
That
going
means you
on.
too.
Like, you know, the whole thing where, like, hey,
Thanks.
what exactly
counting
does
on
it mean for us to be here? Are we, like, literally embodying this? Are we reliving it? Are we just being shown it in an unusually interactive form? Like, I feel like there should be an interest in this, significantly renewed and heightened given, you know, that.
Well, I'm sure everything will be just fine. So now that we have this power, let's go back and see if we can get a round 2 with Wiseman.
Everyone's here.
Maybe this time he won't,
We
like,
have one
politely
goal.
ask us to leave.
Defeat Wiseman. We must find him and end this quickly.
But won't we have to fight the people of Kuyam?
I've heard rumors they've joined forces with the dragons. It won't be easy.
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
I agree. If we can take Wiseman down, everyone else ought to return to their senses.
We should be
Like,
going.
I feel like a lot of the
Alright.
impact of this
It's time.
hinges on, like, stuff that the game's just never really going to clarify. Like, are we witnessing a thing, or are we partaking in a thing? Like, the way that this is being presented to Sagi and friends, like, in game, could go a couple different ways, each of which completely changes the drama of this. Because, like, if we're just witnessing stuff that's basically already happened, then all of this should be a foregone conclusion. There shouldn't really be much curiosity here, except for, like, hey, what about the wild truth behind what happened?
There's nobody here. What's going on?
Did they start the ceremony?
We're too late.
If they started the ceremony, they must be in Atria.
Atria lies beyond Kuyam. Hurry!
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if this place is more or less unnerving with nobody in it. Considering the previous inhabitants.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's valid. Taking a place and just giving it a completely different vibe is a good way to reuse a place.
Probably should have changed the music. But, yeah, Wiseman's digs are, they're something.
Yeah, definitely also a vibe in here. That's how I would characterize this. That is a vibe.
Look! So many dragons!
The rumors were true.
What do we do?
The Dark Brethren will come. We have to find Wiseman.
So, if you haven't recently, now would probably be a good time to go back and watch the intro cinematic of the game. Just throwing that out there.
Did they do a whole bunch of, like, foreshadowing up to and including possible actual spoilers in the attract scene?
No, it's just specifically this bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that was kind of a thing in video games. Especially RPGs, where, like, after the pre-rendered stuff started happening, like, hey, we need, like, cool stuff, either to put on a loop or to put in trailers. And they're like, well, here are the really important plot scenes, which are the only ones that got enough budget to look good. Just really kind of played themselves on that one. So yeah, like, all told, this whole thing definitely has the feel of one of those times when there was a JRPG that just, like, decided to take some swings at some concepts.
May my blade be sharp.
And just kind of went for it, and it was weird, and it kind of both does and does not really work. just video games all around, basically.
So, let's talk a little bit about the battlefield of Atria. So, the last encounter, we had the bombs. They don't... Literally, the only thing that they do is they cast Foxfire on you, which does a small amount of damage and will set you on fire. It's great. So, you spend basically all of your time trying to cancel out the burn damage. They're not very difficult.
But also kind of annoying, I guess.
These guys... You'll say these guys have, They're not very dangerous either. They mostly just sit there and kind of ineffectually throw thunder magic at you. The main thing to note about the shamans are that they are extremely resistant to light damage, which is probably the thing that you have stuffed your deck with because you were just in the demon castle.
Right, yes. I mean, that tracks. Frankly, like, I don't know, that's the kind of thing that the JRPG throws the fuck you move at you, and I'm like, I mean, that's fair enough. In retrospect, it's like, yeah, we should expect to be dealing with certain stuff in certain places, and remembering that you're on a specialized build for a particular place is like, that's supposed to be the game. That's the theory. Pretty much all of the interesting stuff in JRPGs comes from, like, the fact that you have to think about how stuff works. You would apply a theory to different contexts. It's just video games.
The dragons, on the other hand, are exactly what they look like. They have a lot of health, and they can knock your entire party down, but other than that, they are not, like, specifically dangerous. They're just annoying to fight because they take a long time to kill.
These guys appear to be, like, holding us down and then coming over to punch us.
They sure are.
Seems like, depending on exactly what bullshit the game does and doesn't try to do with it, it could be either, like, extremely forgettable or total horseshit. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, the main gimmick of the battlefields of Atria, at least at this point, is that, like, every enemy has a huge aggro range, and these motherfuckers will hit you with a little ice spell that will make it so that you're constantly walking around like you're exhausted, and then you will immediately have, like, 4 dudes on your dick.
Yeah. I mean, again, that kind of tracks conceptually. It's like, yeah, here's a battlefield. There's fighting going on. There's gonna be soldiers. They're gonna be looking around. They're gonna be alert. They're gonna be aggravated. They're gonna be like, hey, unfamiliar thing that's not us. Let's shoot it. Okay, like, I know I'm kind of going in on a bit on names of things lately, but did that guy just have an attack called Luminous Wings?
He sure does.
That's not... What? Fucking excuse me? You don't get... You can't do that. That's not how any of those words work. I'm sorry, anybody without a philosophy background is probably not really following along with what's going on, but I assure you it's very, very fucking frustrating for me right now. Just... I'm not having a good time here.
Would you be having a better time if we arbitrarily left the battlefield right now?
I mean, maybe?
Are you sure you want to go back to Inoue? I will give you exactly 55 seconds to change your mind.
I mean, I'm not really sure that I like any part of this, but like,
How many of them do we have to fight? Look at their
as long as
eyes.
nobody in
They're
Anui Nui
totally
is going
gone.
to use words in a way that makes no
Wiseman is
fucking
manipulating
sense,
them. They're lost in their own
I'm fine
thoughts.
with it.
Where is Wiseman?
By the way, shout out to The Swapper, a game that actually uses the word Lumina in a sentence correctly.
Gather together, everyone! Don't wander away!
Hey, Marno! What's wrong? Hey!